We are back this morning with our Educating Mid-Michigan segment and Mr. Craig Douglas. Today we're talking about some of education's biggest questions right now. Good morning.
Good morning, Matt.
Good to see you as always.
Likewise.
We'll go through some of these topics that you have in mind. First off, it's a lingering question: who will become the next state superintendent of public instruction? That's on a lot of question on the minds of a lot of educators right now.
Correct. I want to credit the Bridge for this segment. It's a daily email that I get, and they did a nice analysis of some of the educational issues facing specifically the state of Michigan. Viewers might not think of the state superintendent of public instruction as an issue, but the selection of the next one is a challenge before the current State Board of Education.
And why does that matter?
Well, it's a big deal because the state superintendent oversees the Michigan Department of Ed, which has tremendous policy and oversight responsibilities. So it's a really key position. Not elected. In some states it is, but not in Michigan. It's appointed. It's an appointed position by the State Board of Education.
All right, so that's a lingering question to keep our focus on. Also, let's talk about, it sounds not scary, I'm trying to look for the right word, but I mean, when you hear the elimination of the Department of Education at the federal level, why is that a focus right now for educators?
Well, we've talked about this ever since the inauguration. Now it's becoming a budgetary reality. I've done a little bit of research regarding the budget. It's still in formulation, obviously, at the federal level, and that impacts the state budget, which is in formulation at the state level. But guess what? Today's July 1st, and by law, all of our public schools in the state of Michigan have to have adopted budgets. So let's think backwards from that. The local has approved a budget that still is to be determined at the state level and still to be shaped by federal.
It's in limbo.
It's in limbo. So what I'm seeing is likely the federal government will keep Title I programs pretty much as is, but all other programs related to the federal government, all bets are off. That's everything from student loans to grants to you name it.
So bottom line, there are a lot of possible changes on the horizon.
Need to watch it.
Yeah, need to keep an eye on that. And then also, let's talk about how teachers are doing in general, especially, it's hard to believe we're 5 years post-pandemic. There's been some ripple effects from that. Why is that on your mind? Critical
shortages. We have critical shortages throughout the state in just about all subject and grade areas.
Yeah, the pandemic prompted a lot of teachers to go ahead and maybe retire early, things like that.
Indeed it did. We saw that in all sectors of our economy, but especially in education, the stress, et cetera. If people had the ability to retire or pivot, many did. Not faulting them, but that's created a ripple effect, as you said, a very good way to describe it. So you see colleges trying to ramp up and respond, and they are doing their best. But it remains to be seen, are these shortages going to loom and continue to lag, or are we going to be able to kind of restore some sort of equilibrium in that way?
Yes, something to think about in the world of education for sure. As always, we appreciate your insight. If you ever have any related questions for us, feel free to email us. goodmorning@abc12.com. And Mr. Douglas, you're a treasure. Great to talk with you.
Thank you, Matt. Take care.